Hi, good evening. Welcome to our students and parents and community members and partners. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Are You Ready? Our webinar series that we've been doing with a bunch of our partners through the Future Makers Coalition. Let me go ahead and screen share the presentation. All right, so there we go. So like I said, welcome everybody. My name is Kelly Thawley. I am the College and Career Specialist in the Career and Technical Education Department at the School District of Lee County. I apologize that my camera is not working. We are just gonna go ahead and go with this. We will be recording this webinar. Students, I know it's been a really interesting month for you, so please don't feel like you're falling behind in anything. We've decided to still move forward with our series. We are recording it. It will be available, and I will make sure that I send this out to all of your counselors and college and career specialists as well. The good news, students, we are so happy that you are okay, that most of our schools are opening by the end of this week. So you are all in our thoughts, and we are hoping for the best and continued movement forward and rebuilding after Hurricane Ian. So thank you for being on here with us. And we will make sure that we're keeping you on track for whatever is next in your path. I do know that I got some emails today. High school students, you should be hearing from your counselors and college and career specialists that many of the state university system schools that had that maybe November 1st deadline are actually moving their early action deadline to November 15th, or they're doing it on a case-by-case basis. So if you're going for a competitive school, make sure you check in with those counselors and college and career specialists to see what the updates are and work with them to continue getting your stuff in. But I can promise you that every educational institution we've talked to has said that they will make accommodations for you. Just make sure that you reach out and you're communicating with them. So with that, we're going to go ahead and talk this evening about the state college system. So about a month ago, we went over the state university system, the 12 universities, the public institutions here in Florida. Today, we are going to talk about the state college system, some of their admissions and additional information. We have a representative on from one of our amazing state college systems right here in Lee County, our Florida Southwestern State College. So we'll hear from her in a little bit, and we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, we do want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, this is provided through the Future Makers Coalition. Dr. Amanda Stirk is on with us as well. She is with Florida Southwestern State College and also has written an amazing book called College Unmazed. You can access the free digital version of that through the Future Makers Coalition website under the tab for Are You Ready? And you can find that under the resources tab. So there is a link to that free access. And then also with the School District of Lee County. So this is the flyer that we've sent out, and please feel free to take a screenshot, send this to your friends. All of the sessions will be recorded and uploaded eventually through the Future Makers Coalition website. I know through the School District of Lee County, we've put it on the Career and Technical Education YouTube site. So I'll list my email address at the end, and if you need those links, you can always shoot me an email. So we did cancel the October 6th, which was developing great college applications. Amanda and I are going to brainstorm and figure out a way to still record that and have that available for you. Today is the October 20th Florida College System, and our next session will be on November 3rd, and we'll talk about the technical and the career and technical education post-secondary options. So today's topic, like I said, is the Florida State College System. So these are all of the public state colleges in the state of Florida. Years ago, we called them community colleges. The name has now changed, and they are state colleges. Some of them have changed their names over time. Here locally, FSW used to be Edison. I know over on the East Coast, Eastern Florida State College used to be Brevard Community College. So you may hear people refer to them as other names, but this is the updated list and their updated names. There are 28 state colleges. So this one, Megan, I might need you to correct me because I think some of this information is from the 2021 school year. So the first thing students always ask is cost of attendance. And overall, what I could find on that page that was for the state college system is that for residents, which means you live in the state of Florida, for a bachelor's program, it was roughly $91 per credit hour, and $71 to $72 per credit hour for all other programs. And then for non-residents, there is a Florida statute that limits the sum of the tuition and out-of-state fee per credit hour so that it can't be more than 85% of the sum of tuition and out-of-state fee at the state university nearest that state college for bachelor's programs. So what that basically means is that FSW here locally would have to offer their bachelor's programs at 85% of the sum of what it would cost to go to FGCU, which is our local state university. And then for non-resident tuition, so that's out of state, around $216 per credit hour for all other programs that are not bachelor's degree programs. Here is a list that just kind of shows student data. I just thought this was super interesting to see across the state where most of our students are going in the state of Florida. So as you can see over on the side, Broward County, it's a larger county, they have 50,000 students, whereas North Florida, they only have about 2,000 students. So depending on what you're looking for, just because you live here in Lee County does not mean that you have to go to FSW. You could decide to go to another state college, which is something that we'll talk about as well, because you may be interested in doing a 2+2 program, which is 2 years at the state college level, and then taking those credits and transferring them in at the state university level. A lot of times students will do that to save money your first 2 years because it is much cheaper to attend a state college than it is to attend a state university. So when you're going your first 2 years, it's most likely just those base level courses, those core courses that every college student has to take, your Algebra 101, Composition 101. If you took those at the university, you would be paying university prices. Those exact same courses are the courses that you can take at the college level and pay a lot less money. So for some students who financially are trying to kind of stay more on the safe side, spend less money, they might look at going for the first 2 years at a state college. So for instance, I had a friend that wanted to graduate from the University of Florida. So he applied. It's a very competitive college. He did not get in his first time. So he decided to still move up to Gainesville and went to Santa Fe, which is their state college next to the University of Florida. So he still got to live in Gainesville. He lived near campus with some of his friends that were going to UF. He spent his first 2 years at Santa Fe and then was able to transfer in his junior year to UF. So that's always something to think about. Some state colleges have really awesome programs with their sister university. Valencia is one of them. You can see they're very large, 65,000 students. They do have a pipeline that goes directly to UCF. A lot of the courses at UCF are taught on Valencia campus. So students are paying that state college price and still getting the education from UCF and UCF professors. So do your research, look into it, and find what works for you. And then because I'm in the career and technical education department, workforce trends is always interesting to me as well. So just kind of looking and seeing at this chart where different students enrolled, what courses they were enrolled in, and what they ended up pursuing as their career. So you can see, depending on the state college, some of them may not offer some of these workforce programs, but some of them you can see have a much higher enrollment with certain programs. So Looking at FSW, you can see that we have a really strong health program, over almost 1,700 students enrolled in our health programs. Business is also very strong at FSW, not as many students enrolled in marketing, at least from this year that I received the data. So next, we are going to go ahead and talk to our experts because Megan will know a whole lot more about the state college system and specifically Florida Southwestern than I would. So we are very happy to have Megan Hines with us. She is an admissions counselor from Florida Southwestern State College. I am going to stop my screen share and I'm going to turn this over to Megan.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm Megan. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you can see I have a fun little presentation here. There we are. Okay, can everybody see that?
Looks great.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, so like I said, I'm an admissions counselor at Florida Southwestern State College. I'm just kind of here to talk to you about our school, what benefits we have, as well as the application process. So you guys, if you have any questions, you know, I'm here. All right. All right, so some fast facts about our school. We actually have 4 campus locations. I'm located at the Lee campus, which is here in Fort Myers, but we do have other locations in Charlotte, Collier, and on the border of Hendry Glades. We do also offer online classes. So this would be either fully online, or we also have blended formats, which allow you to take some of the classes online and some in the campus as well. We offer 6 bachelor degrees, 25 associate degrees, and 28 different certificate programs. And this past fall for 2021, we had 14,714 students enrolled, which is pretty cool. You know, we're a growing school and we're celebrating our 60th year. So it's always fun to see the numbers getting higher. All right, so our academic programs, the most popular program that we offer is that associate in arts degree. And I think Kelly, you had touched on this with the 2+2 program. So this would be the degree that you guys would get to get your general education out of the way to transfer over to the larger universities. And this would just be that 2 years of general education. The associate in science is the more tailored towards your major. So when you come into these associate in science degrees, you're doing 2 years of a very specific program. So there's a small amount of general education, and then you're going into something like nursing, dental hygiene, digital art, computers, crime scene technology. These are going to be your 2-year very specific degrees. We also offer certificate programs. These tend to be popular with people that have already graduated and maybe want to come back and get a promotion, get a raise. So they start incorporating certificates into their degrees to better and increase their knowledge. And then we have our bachelor degrees. So we have 6 of those at the moment, and those are the 4-year degrees. Off the top of my head, I think we have nursing, we have a computer one, we have a business like supervision and management. So there's a lot of different options to choose from. And I did include in the middle here some of the degrees that you can kind of see, just a few select ones that I find people ask a lot of questions about when I go to college fairs. The digital art and multimedia is pretty cool. It's one of my favorites because I think we get a lot of art students and it covers a variety of subjects. So all of the classes in there are video game design, drawing, photography, music, theater. So if you're interested in the arts, but you don't have a specific thing that you want, this is a really cool degree to try. And we have things like computer programming, we have the crime scene technology, small business management, we have education degrees. The elementary education, I believe, is one of our bachelor's degrees. We have EMT and firefighter. I know the EMT comes in certificates as well as the associate in science, so it kind of depends on what you're interested in. And then nursing, which is, as we saw, a very popular degree. And we even have social and human services for those that are interested in, you know, that field. So we have a lot of different degrees, a lot of different options. And, you know, based on how long you want to be in school, we offer that as well. And then at the bottom here, I did include a link. So if you go to www.fsw.edu/academic/programs, this brings you to a career interest survey, and it's either 6 questions or 60, depending on your time. And this is if you're not really sure what you want to do. These questions help to kind of guide you and maybe help you figure out which program you might be interested in. It's just some fact-finding questions. And also on that web page, we have all of the rest of our programs. So this is just a select few, but those programs there, it has the full list of everything we offer. So, and like Kelly was talking about, we participate in the 2+2 transfer program. So this allows you to get your AA degree in general education and then transfer to any of these public universities, as long as they're in the state of Florida. So I included some pretty popular names on the side here, like UF and FGCU, FSU. Most of your general education tends to be the same. And when you get that AA degree, it allows you to get that first 2 years done of your bachelor's degree. So you're only completing those last 2 years at a university. Students tend to follow this path because the tuition tends to be more affordable. Sometimes, you know, some of your larger universities, obviously the price is going to be a little higher. And if the general education is the same, it helps to kind of pay a little bit of a cheaper price, you know, and get that same education. It also helps for ease of transition. So some students are just not ready to make that leap right into university right away. And it can help to kind of stay local to, you know, where you live, know the environment, kind of get your feet wet with the college experience, you know, learn how to study, learn how to create a schedule, learn how to manage your time, which is really important in college. Kind of lets you do that in a smaller environment. We have smaller class sizes. And again, we're still local, and most kids that are coming to us are still in the same environment, still in the same city. So it allows you to kind of get those 2 years, get that under your belt. So when you transfer to the university, it's more so just kind of learning in the university rather than also trying to take on the college experience for the first time. So the 2+2 is a really popular option for a lot of students, especially if you want to go to a university, you're just not ready to jump into it. So. And we also have a program with FGCU, Destination FGCU is what it's called. It's part of the 2+2 program. So you get your general education degree, and then there's a nice seamless transfer over to FGCU. They have a lot of different degree options. So we have our bachelor's degree, but they have quite a few over there, like a lot more. So sometimes a lot of students may find a program they like there. They complete the 2 years with us, they transfer over there. One of the benefits of this program is that there are transfer scholarships as long as you meet the GPA requirement, and the application fee is waived from FGCU, so you don't have to pay an additional application fee. And once you complete your 30 credits at FSW, then you get access to their advisors as well as informational sessions to be able to learn more about the program and kind of guide right into that degree you want. FGCU admits more students from FSW than from any Florida State college. And a lot of the students who do choose to transfer really like the idea of going to FGCU. They love that it's local, they love that it's right up the road, and it offers a lot of the degrees that they need. And the majority of FSW students who apply are admitted. So definitely if you're interested in FGCU, do your first 2 years at FSW and you can transfer over. It's a really easy process. So at FSW, when you study with us, we have a lot of different resources that we offer for the students. First and foremost, we have a really great library. And at that library, there's a lot of different things you can utilize. So most importantly, we have a lot of computers. So for students that maybe don't have a computer at home, you can come and do your online classes in the library. You can also use it for research or for whatever other purpose you need for your classes. And as well as obviously books, DVDs, we have databases that they can go on to search for subscription services, articles, newspapers, whatever you need. And we have quiet study rooms so that you can have a nice, quiet, safe space to study and learn what you need to learn without any distractions or interruptions. And I believe the librarians can help you with your research as well. I think they host different informational sessions on research and how to kind of manage your time and do the research you need. We also have really excellent advisors at our school. So as soon as you start at the school, you're already jumping into an advising workshop before you even pick your classes. So they can help you pick those classes, help you find a schedule that fits what you want, and help you figure out what classes you may need for the major you're interested in. And those advisors are with you from beginning to end. So they help you through the whole process, make sure you're graduating on time with the classes you need. We also have office hours with professors. So when you're taking a class, and you're maybe not understanding the subject, you can go visit your professor in his office hours or her office hours to ask any clarification questions or any additional information you may need from the professor. We also have a really great Bucks Care program. So if you find that you're struggling with food or personal items you may need, we have a whole pantry that you can come in and take whatever you need, whether that's kitchen staples, deodorant, shampoo, canned goods, protein bars, anything you may need to support yourself. And with that Bucks Care, we also have a free online therapy as well. It's called Better Mind, and that's MYND, and that's offered free to FSW students, so they can get free online therapy sessions if they're finding that they need to talk to somebody or just kind of, you know, have a session. And college can be stressful, you know, when it's your first time, and it's good to have somebody to lean on and be able to talk to about these things. We also have adaptive services. So if you have a disability and you need maybe extra test time, or you need equipment to help you take tests or listen to a lecture, we offer a lot of those things. And we have a really, really great adaptive services program. We also have career services. So this is the department that helps you with resume building, interview assistance. We even have a place where you can put your resume as well as browse jobs that are hiring. So we really try to help connect you with the right people and make sure that you know how to properly interview, how to write those resumes, how to apply for the jobs you want. And most importantly, my favorite resource is the tutoring. We have drop-in sessions, which are really cool, because if you're not understanding a subject, you can just come right into the tutoring center and speak with somebody about it, and they can help you with homework assignments or any questions you may have. You can even schedule an appointment if you have something really specific you want to talk about, or a specific subject you need help in. We have essay drop-off. So if you're writing an essay and you find that you may need some critique or somebody to review it, we have those as well. And there's no limit on the usage, so you can go as many times as you need. And one of the cool things we have too is we have a partnership with tutor.com, which allows you that 24/7 access to log in and get the tutoring you need. So a lot of different resources at the school. We're here to help you succeed and make sure that you can be the best student you can be. So definitely utilize these when you're on campus. And although we're not a university, we try to keep up with the college experience that you would get at the universities. One of the coolest programs I think we have is the study abroad. It's really popular with a lot of the students, especially if you have that travel bug. And it allows you to study at Italy, Germany, Canada, and you can take all of these different courses with there. And the prices are fairly affordable compared to some of the larger schools. So if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend checking out the study abroad department, because it's really, really cool. And on our Lee campus, we have on-campus housing. So that's our Lighthouse Commons. The fee that you pay, I want to say it's around $3,200 for a 4-bedroom, and I think it's $3,500 for a 2-bedroom. And that is for the whole semester, and that includes your utilities, it includes your internet, and they have a fitness center. And I believe also inside of the dorm you get a washer and dryer as well, and a kitchen. So it's a really beautiful dorm. We've gotten to walk around and check out some of the campus, or some of the dorms and the rooms in there, and it's a nice little like apartment style. So it's a really, really beautiful place. And there's a pool too. So we live in Florida, it's hot. Everyone likes to cool off in a pool sometimes. But no, we do have the on-campus housing on Lee, and we have dining options as well. We have athletics teams. So we have volleyball, basketball, baseball, and softball. We have student organizations, and that includes Student Government Association. I know that's a pretty popular one. We have clubs for pretty much everything. It's a good way to network with other students that are like-minded. So if you want to be a nurse, there's a nursing club, so you can communicate with other nursing majors and, you know, bounce information off of each other, form study groups, just a good way to connect with other students that are interested in the same thing as you. We have a really great honors program, which includes a lot of scholarship opportunities as well. We offer fine and performing arts opportunities. We even have an art gallery on campus. We have the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall. We host social events on campus. So I think the one right before Hurricane Ian they had all kinds of prizes and FSW gear, and you could do different games to win these prizes. And they had food trucks come on campus. They had snow cones and barbecue. And so we try to make it fun and free food and free gear. Everybody loves that. We also do community engagement. We're pretty involved in the community. We try to offer the students a lot of volunteer opportunities because they're great resume builders. And it's also good to give back to your community and really participate and get to know your area. And then last but not least, we have hands-on classroom and field research. So you can see in the bottom right corner here, that is one of our nursing classes. And they actually have a dummy that speaks to you and talks to you and tells you what's wrong, where it hurts. And it's a fun way to practice without actually jumping right onto a real human right away. We got to go visit some of the ones in Collier campus the other day, and it was really, really incredible, the setup they have there. For those that are interested in the nursing field, they have, it basically mimics an emergency room, and there's different patients, different dummies in each one that all talk and communicate. They have everything from newborns to pregnant women to people with injuries. It's a really, really, really cool program. And we also have Crime Scene Island, which is really popular with the crime scene tech degree, where you get to do cadaver work and things on like a actual island and learn that process, getting that hands-on experience. So we offer a lot of opportunities at the school. So it's definitely not just coming for your degree. You get the degree and you get everything else that comes with it. So, and the big thing is affording and paying for college. That's always everybody's question. Our current statistic is that 70% of our students graduate debt-free. So we try to offer as many opportunities as we can to help students pay for school. Those include our scholarships. We have over 100 different scholarships to choose from. And a lot of these scholarships can be specific all the way down to, I think one of them was, if your father was a police officer, there's a scholarship for that, all the way to just graduating from a certain high school. I think it's LaBelle High School was one of the ones where if you graduate from there, there's a scholarship opportunity for you. So a lot of different scholarship opportunities, and we try to provide you resources to access outside donor scholarships that aren't necessarily given out by us, but that different companies around the area may offer. There's also grants and federal direct loans. That's usually through the FAFSA account. Once you apply for there, you get some of those. We offer work study programs. We have a tuition installment plan. So if you do decide to pay out of pocket for any reason, these are interest-free monthly payments that you can make towards your tuition instead of having to pay a lump sum. We do accept Florida prepaid. And the big thing is qualifying for the in-state tuition. So over here in the left corner, I have the in-state tuition prices. And that is $113 per credit hour. And that's usually for the associate degrees. And that bottom part there, the $3,400 annually, that is usually full-time. So I believe that should be 4 classes for fall, 4 classes for spring, and 2 for summer. That's usually our annual cost. So it's a lot cheaper than a lot of the larger schools. So again, that's why doing the first 2 years at a cheaper school for your gen eds tend to save you a lot of money in the long run. But those are our prices there. And qualifying for the in-state tuition is you're automatically considered a non-Florida resident, so you do have to qualify for the in-state tuition. You do have to submit the forms to be able to get that in-state price. It only requires that you've lived in Florida for at least 12 months. And if you're under 24, your parents have to have lived in Florida for at least 12 months. But I can go over that a little later when we get to that slide. But those are all the different ways you can pay for school, different ways you can get free money for school. There's a lot of different options. So once you're admitted, I highly recommend going and talking to the counselors in the financial aid department, because they can walk you through the process and get you the scholarship money you need, the money you need to pay for school, because there's a lot of opportunities to pay for school and even graduate debt free. So highly recommend talking to financial aid and applying for the scholarships as soon as you can, and also applying for that FAFSA as soon as you can, because the quicker you get it done, the quicker you get the money and you can pay for your classes. So to apply to our school, I did put a little link at the top if you wanted to do a campus tour. Currently, the Lee campus is temporarily closed because we had some damage from Hurricane Ian. So once that's fixed up and we get back up and running, then we should have our campus tours resuming there. But we do have campus tours at all the other locations, so you can go check them out and tour the campus, meet the people, kind of see where you'd be studying. But to apply to the school, you'll go to that link that I have there, and that's apply.fsw.edu. You'll create an account and then you'll apply online. Most of you, if you're coming straight out of high school, should be new to FSW. So you would select the link that says AA/AS new to FSW. If you're coming straight out of high school with your diploma ready to go, it's a really easy process. Once you've sent in your application, then you want to send us your transcripts. If you're applying before you've graduated, you can send us your in-progress transcripts, but they will be considered unofficial, and it'll grant you a conditional admit, which essentially means that once we receive those transcripts, you will have to submit your official high school transcripts with the graduation date as soon as you graduate. If you don't, this could affect your financial aid, and it also won't let you register for the following semester. So we do accept the in-progress to admit you and get you ready, but we will need those official high school transcripts afterwards. And to be official, they have to have a graduation date, and they have to come directly from your school. The only way they can come from you is if you bring them from your school in a sealed envelope. It can't be opened. So I did include the information at the bottom here. So once you are ready to send your transcripts, you just reach out to your high school. They can either mail them to us in physical mail there to that address there, or they can email them to us, and that's admissions@fsw.edu. Some schools do have their own system of sending us transcripts, so they may use an electronic system as well. I highly recommend calling us to check in after a bit when you've sent your transcripts, because you don't just want to assume that we've received them and everything's good. Once you've sent them in and you've applied, give us a call after a few weeks and check in. Hey, did you receive my transcripts? So we can let you know if it didn't come through the school, so you can get ahead of that before it comes down to the last week before classes start and you're trying to figure out where your transcripts are. And then the final thing is it doesn't affect your admission to the school, but I highly recommend doing it ahead of time, is your residency form. And that's what's going to qualify you for the in-state tuition. So I did include the link there to do the online form. We can do paper forms in person, just not at the Lee campus right now. But as soon as we do open up, we can do paper copies, and any of our other ones can do paper copies as well. But if you go to that link, it should bring you to a page to be able to select the campus you want to attend. Once you select your campus, it's going to bring you to a DocuSign form. You'll fill out that form to qualify for the residency. Again, once you apply, you're automatically put as a non-Florida resident. You have to prove residency to get the in-state tuition. And to do that, you are putting in your information, and that includes 2 documents. So normally the most common documents tend to be your Florida driver's license, your Florida vehicle registration, or a Florida voter ID. There are other options on that list that you can choose from, but those tend to be the easiest to access and the most common that people use. They have to be at least a year old, and it has to be your parents' information if you are under 24. If you are over 24, then you are considered independent. If you're under 24, you are dependent, and the claimant has to be the parent. If you have specific questions while you're filling out the form, you can give us a call. Just call the admissions office and say, hey, I'm having some trouble with my admission or my residency form, and we can walk you through the process so that way it gets submitted correctly. Or you can go visit one of our other campuses that's open at the moment, and they can walk you through with a paper copy and help and process it there. So it's a fairly easy form, and if it does come through incorrectly, you will receive an email back that says the DocuSign has been completed. It doesn't mean that it's been accepted. So do open up that document and look at the bottom, because the bottom piece is going to tell you if it's approved or not, and it'll give you a note as to why it wasn't approved. Sometimes it's as simple as the document, we just need an additional document because the one you provided wasn't correct. And if you just resubmit it with that document, we can approve it and make it nice and easy. So once you've applied, sent your transcripts, done your residency, then you're just waiting for an email for instructions on your next steps. Your next steps usually include orientation, meeting with advisor. There's a few other things, but these are the 3 most important things to get you into the school so that you can receive that email to follow the process. And again, just make sure that those high school transcripts are sent as soon as possible, and complete the residency as well. So And finally, we are on social media. So if you wanted to give us a follow on any of these, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can check any of these out, and we post all kinds of updates and videos and fun things on there. I especially recommend the YouTube channel if you're really interested in the campus, because there's a lot of cool videos on there where it gives you virtual tours of our programs, and it has some of the virtual tours of the campus. So a lot of cool information on there. So, but that's my spiel for today, and I appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. This was lots of great information. Students, I know we have one attendee on, so happy to see you. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat or the Q&A. Amanda, anything that I forgot? Anything else that you'd like to mention?
See if my video. Hey, my video will start. Hey, everybody. Amanda Stirk here, Dr. Stirk, run the dual enrollment program out at FSW, and fantastic job, Megan. I always love, even though like I work at the college, one, I forget how big we are, right? Because look at your statistics of, anywhere from, I think we're right now at about 14, a little over 14,000, but a few years ago before COVID, I mean, we were at like 16, 17,000. That's bigger than FGCU. And I don't think a lot of people realize like how many students actually come to FSW. I think we're really just a hidden gem. And it's fantastic. And I do want to point out, I have a student assistant and she gets paid to go to college. Like by the time she gets her financial aid and her work study, and she's going to be transferring here in January to FGCU, and she hasn't paid anything. Like she's been able to go, she's gotten real world experience, and she's worked, in my office, and just such, and the campus is so pretty. I know it's so hard with all the trees down right now and stuff. Like all our campuses are so beautiful, and just don't forget that, if you are in high school and you want to start FSW early, we take dual enrollment students technically as early as 6th grade. We don't recommend that for a lot of reasons. We do have a few, but we see mostly 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So if you can both knock off those credits, and you can also, consider transferring, we're just glad to be part of your path, even if it's just for a few classes. We're really excited that you're here. So if you have any questions about that, happy to answer that as well. I do see a question. If we're planning on transferring from FSW after our first 2 years, is there a certain amount of volunteer hours we should have before transferring? Oh, question. Megan, do you want to answer that?
Sure. So we don't have any volunteer requirements, but it would depend on the school you're going to. So that would be something that you would have to discuss with your advisor while you're at FSW. This would be something that you would talk to them and ask them, I want to go to this school, and they could help you figure out what requirements they would need in addition to the AA degree. I hope I understand your question correctly. But yeah, we don't have any requirements, but other schools may. So definitely speak with your advisor as soon as you get to FSW. Let them know your game plan so they can help figure out what requirements you may need.
Thank you, Megan.
First time in college student. So I think what ends up happening, with the first time in college student, like if you're graduating high school and transferring and going to like a UF or FSU, they're really going to look at your resume. What extracurriculars have you been in? What have you done? What have you done in high school? Your ACT, SAT, your GPA, like they're really honed in on that because they're going through like 50,000 applications. As a transfer student, they don't even look at your ACT, SAT scores. They don't care. What they want to see is, did you take the right courses to get into their major? So if you want to be marketing, did you take your pre-marketing courses? If you want to be veterinary science, did you take those prereqs? And your grade in those courses. They don't care anymore about your high school GPA. Activities are great. If you want to get involved on the FSW campus, we have so many clubs and activities. And the honors program, study abroad, Megan, you said, I want to be in college and do the study abroad. The Italy trip looks amazing. And I've heard so many wonderful things about it. And so you want to build that up because you want to build that resume so you're competitive in terms of getting internships or getting a part-time job or whatever. So we encourage it. It's just not a graduation requirement. Again, it's very different than the first time in college. So a lot of students say, I have my goal, like Kelly's friend, go to UF. What can I do to get there? And then maybe they're just not meeting those ACT, SAT scores. So we have a lot of DE and kids finishing up with us, and then they transfer, or then they stay with us and get a 4-year degree. But I just added to that. Sorry. It's hard not to. Occupational hazard.
No,
Kelly,
thank
did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, actually, that if you are planning on doing the 2+2, then when you go in to talk to your advisor at FSW or your state college that you're planning on going to, make sure that you've done the research on the program that you want to eventually transfer into so that you can meet those prerequisites and that you've met those requirements. And as Megan said, check to see, does that university require any sort of volunteer hours that might be able to transfer that you could start working on ahead of time. I don't see any other questions. I'm going to do one more screen share. Oh, there it is. I just wanted to very quickly show you all where that website is. If you go to Florida DOE, you can choose home, schools, higher education, and then the Florida college system. From that page, you can go down to where it says colleges, and this will have a list of all of the Florida state colleges within the state college system, and it gives you direct links to their pages and also direct links to their virtual tours. So if maybe you do live over here on the West Coast and you think that eventually you might want to be over on the East Coast, but you can't get over there, you can do a virtual tour. And I think earlier, either Megan or Amanda touched on looking at the campus and really making sure that it's a good fit and that it's going to be a place where you enjoy being, because that is going to be your home, whether it's for 2 years or for 4 years or 6 years, however long you decide to stay on campus. But make sure that number one thing is to definitely get on campus, take a tour. And if you can't physically be there, then get online and look at some of the virtual tours so that you can check that out as well. Other than that, anything else to add, Amanda or Megan?
Nothing from me. Great presentation and thank you. And I mean, I think the FCS is, I mean, as you can see, we have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of kids go to the program. And it's such a great opportunity for so many students to have smaller class sizes, half the tuition. You could be local or you could go away. You can have that sort of college experience. So I hope you do consider it for sure. Megan, anything else on your end?
Nope, I think I covered as much as I could, got everything out, but I agree. Check out the campuses you want to go to. I think that's really, really important because like they said, it's your home. You're going to be there for a while. And if you don't feel comfortable there, you've got to feel comfortable where you're going to be staying. So I second that.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much to Megan. Thanks for being on here. Thank you, Amanda, my trusty sidekick. And next episode will be on November 3rd. We'll be talking to our local career and technical education post-secondary partners, Fort Myers Tech, Cape Coral Tech. We'll be finding out about their admissions process and additional information from them. And then here are the remainder. We've got 2 more after the November 3rd. So paying for college and then finally making an informed decision. So stick with us through the series. We'll be recording all of them, like I said, and posting them to our websites. And with that, thank you all for joining us this evening. We'll be thinking of you, and reach out, please, if there's anything that we can do for you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kelly. Bye.
Thank you.